Oh, hello. This is Erleta, me, Zio. We are from the Doc Lab, and we followed the community lab the past few days and the upcoming days, and we will try to gain some insights into the community building here in Frankfurt Oder. And now we would like to know what have been your goals, your intentions during the community lab.
So I guess the whole community lab started with the idea of what really is a safe space. What is a community? What makes a community? And then we started with more of a theoretical part in which we thought about a common vision of a community. What if a community is tied to a space, and if a space should be physical or not. And then we also had some principles. And then what we did is we met different actors inside the community to understand how the principles that we thought of actually relate to their experiences. And at the end, we organized some events together with the knowledge that we gathered. And in terms of actors that we met with Liza from Helping Hands and Bridge, who is a community that helps people who were displaced by the full-scale invasion relocate here. They help legally, they help with documents and everything that they need.
Yeah.
Met with Fforst, which is a collective where people also live.
It's a house project, shared house project. And we met with Viadrinicum and Giacomo, and I guess we were trying to explore this sense of community and how people gather together and why. So maybe we learn something from this, and also they maybe learn something from us.
Great.
So that way we would maybe enjoy our differences, different backgrounds, different experiences, and share them. A concrete example was last night's event of balcony music, where we gathered together and some new people came and we enjoyed a lot.
And KUMA. We also collaborated with KUMA,
Yeah.
which is for the event tonight.
Yeah, it's this cultural space which felt really like home, and I think when I think about the community and common aid and the sense of belonging, this is why it felt like home, really, this welcoming and inviting atmosphere that you get from people somewhere, and that's what creates this community bond.
There's more cups and more glasses if you want some water.
Yeah, my name is Lisa, and we are at Helping Hands Blaue Brücke in Frankfurt Oder, and this is a charitable organization who helps people from everywhere, mostly refugees, to get started in our town. Today we have a little sporty event called Nonsense Olympics, where we do different funny disciplines like gummy bear, white spit, or drive a bike as slowly as you can, or gaga ball, which is a ball game with teams. And we did some finger knitting too, which seems to be very popular out there. And yeah, it's just a little, it's still summer holidays in Germany, so we just wanted to offer something where the kids can come and have some fun and be together and get to know each other. And, yeah. Our, and especially my vision, is to make people feel welcome and to give them the impression that they are not like alone or like the only ones in this town who are starting from a new chapter, or who are struggling with trying to fit in or something like that, and that we are just here open, and if you feel like it, you can join, you can try. If you don't, it's also okay, but we want to to set a statement against any Monday demonstration shit or something like this. Yeah.
So this was Blaue Brücke, Blue Bridge, and Helping Hands Ukraine. And we had a very nice short insight of their work, which is full of struggles. You wouldn't think about it in the first moment. If you think about practical help, about community building in the quarter, but yeah, it's very glad to be able to see this and get an insight. And now we're heading back to our headquarters. So the next stop is KUMA, Kulturmanufaktur Gerstenberg, and we going to meet a person who is partly directing this place and is a very very multifunctional layered space. So it's like from concerts to readings to club nights and co-working and a lot of other stuff is happening there. So we're curious to have a talk with the responsible people and gonna provide you some footage. Someone ring the doorbell, but someone else. No one was opening. Do you have a telephone number?
Hey, welcome. This is the KUMA. This is short for Kulturmanufaktur, cultural manufacturer, like a lab for people coming here and being creative and catching some empowerment. So welcome. Everybody here is welcome, no matter which sex, gender or age. And what makes us really happy is that really a lot of people come here from different generations and backgrounds. And yeah, it used to be a former fabric for furniture for like 100 years, and since 20 plus years it's a theater. And like 4.5 years ago we took over this theater in order to save the place in our free time next to the work and things we do. And yeah, what you see now is the bar where everybody can hang out Tuesdays to Saturdays. There are art circles here, gaming nights, we just meet and talk, women's circle, reading nights. And now we enter the heart of the KUMA. This is the stage with these beautiful seatings here. And we couldn't just let that disappear in Frankfurt, and if we wouldn't have taken over, it would have disappeared. And Frankfurt and Switzerland need places like this where people can just meet. This is the community kitchen. Everybody is welcome to, cook here. Not everybody has the money to go eat outside every day. So if you are a guest at KUMA, you can also bring your own food. Just if you're not a co-working member, because this is also a co-working space, we are happy if you buy your drinks here. Yeah, and then what else do we have? This is one of the rooms in work. A bit chaotic right now, but this is a space where everybody can just work on their art. We have all kinds of materials here, and it's an open studio, open atelier, just for people who cannot afford their own studio and art space, and also want to meet with creative community people here. This is a big room where we have dancing lessons. It's empty right now because we just had a dance party on Friday, but there are also tables here during the day so people can just be here and work in groups or for themselves. NGOs meet, we have conferences and workshops, and yeah. Yeah, there are a lot of concerts here, movie nights. We have every week a movie that we are showing. I think about 20 concerts a year at least. And then also readings, poetry nights, beautiful discussions on topics that are just important to us, on questions like how do we want to live, how do we want to create a space where we want to live. So this is a kind of a place for space making, giving space to people and energy that really, will change our city and our society, hopefully, because there's a lot of work to do.
So, that was KUMA. We met Linda from there, who's a cultural manager, so called, but she did many things with huge experience, and we're very glad to get a small insight into this period of her life and the project itself. And now we're heading back to Fforst. Let's go!
Fforst was born 70 years ago, and initially was just a housing project for Polish and German students, so to integrate Polish students to the university community. Later it became an international housing project, and in the end it got more communitarian after actually during the pandemic. What Fforst does is we organize events, cultural events, or just parties, and we also provided support to minorities, and also in time of crisis like the war in Ukraine, we supported, and yeah, this is what.
First is a complex structure, I would say. We are like in the middle of like house project and community. Even if there is like this shift to be more like a community and to feel more like a community. In order to do this, I mean, we have basic democratic structures such as the assembly, the Monday assembly. We have a weekly assembly on Monday where we discuss about past events, future events, problems, and so on. Whatever, like whoever can add a point to the assembly and explain why she or he is like worried about that specific topic, and there is like a public discussion and so on. So this is like the basic thing that we have to hold the democracy enforced. We have, besides being like a Forsty, there is the board, and the board is 3 people. Every member has a specific role and is in charge of something, and it lasts 6 months. And through this board and the assembly, we organize like the life flow in Fforst. Okay, the assembly on Monday is not a legal assembly, but we have like something called like the general assembly, which is instead like a legal moment, and we have to follow all our legal procedure and very detailed and specific process, okay, in order to guarantee the legal aspect of that assembly. And in order to feel more like to create a community, well, you know better than me that it's actually a very hard task to create this feeling of community. But we have some events during the year. For example, we have like the Fforst workshop, which is 2-3 days here or in another place. The last time it has been like in the countryside in Brandenburg. I don't remember the name, but I mean like. We went all together there, we slept there, and we discussed about major updates about Fforst or like big topics that normally cannot be discussed during the Monday assembly because they are so complex and they require a lot of time. So we need a specific moment apart to discuss about these topics. Then we also try to have informal events such as campings or like trips around, or making activities such as a renovation of the house, for example. so take care of our house. I think like this aspect was very important in the first steps of Fforst when the project started. You know, like the first students here, they were working very hard to recuperate the building, to restructure it. It was not like, as you can see right now, it was very worst. And they worked together a lot, and I think this bound them a lot together. They were like working together, they were having a common goal, a clear goal together. Now that the situation of the house is quite established, the renovation and so on, we still are in a sort of way, in a sort of process to find, beside the events that I quoted before, some other moments to create a community feeling, because it's very important, and it's the most important thing to shift from a house project, which is not to speak badly about house project, but it's just like living in a common space without a forced or like a supposed interaction between the members, and the community, which is something different. I also think that it's very important for a community such as Frankfurt Oder, which is a little medium town, often ignored or forgotten by Germany itself. To have a community like this, to have such an alternative way of living together, I think it, in its own kind of way, is an example, to show that it's possible to live together, it's possible to share things, it's possible to stick together to fight against loneliness and society in general.
One of our goals was that people stopped and thought to themselves, yeah, this is how community is supposed to feel like. So this is how I'm supposed to feel like when I'm in a community, and this is how I'm supposed to make people feel from the community.
Well, the general idea, put simple, was learning by doing, or also doing and learning. It's like an eternal spiral, and we try to give also some attention to actually the practical parts. So we did a lot of, not a lot, but some theory and some talking with some actors and so on, but the main idea really was just to leave a trace in the city in some form. So also the participants and everybody who joined just keeps it in their mind. What happened here is like a very good memory, and also it connects people, but not through this kind of bureaucratic way or superficial way which we might encounter pretty much, like sending you a newsletter or an email, but actually just cheersing with some beer.
I guess that also on the topic of bonding, it was important for us, for the community we built at Viadrinicum, to also get to experience maybe outside of the projects that they're doing, right? Because the planners lab's doing their own, the docu lab's doing their own. So outside of the products that they're doing, we wanted them to experience community in a more informal way. So this is why we had all these events in collaborations with KUMA, with Fforst the other night, in which you could just let loose a bit, connect to each other, and we understand that there's there are many lines of division between us, culturally sometimes, and in terms of country, in terms of the borders, and so it was just a really nice experiment to understand, what it takes to bring us together, what we need to understand, what it means to come together. I mean, that was exactly what we wanted with this lab. So what is a safe space, and why do we consider it a safe space? And we're gonna see the results in the events we have done, and in the way people have experienced last night. And I think that was one of the greatest things that we got out of this lab. When people come to you and they tell you, last night I felt incredible. I felt like I made that connection. And for us, this is exactly what we wanted out of the lab. For people to get to experience that, and for us to get to understand why they experienced that.
Natalie, we love you.
Бо коли було включалося, воно вже журчало вода. А я нагріло. Зачекай. Він питав, що буде багато людей працювати.